Building a custom fireplace wall doesn't have to be intimidating. Today we're framing a bump out that can fit any electric insert, support a heavy TV, and looks professional, even if you've never framed a wall before. But let's start with the overall concept of what we're building. Essentially, you're building a small bump out wall with a framed opening for the fireplace, and all we're doing is building and securing three pieces: the front and two sides. Yours may need to come out from the wall like mine and have these two side walls, or it could sit more flush against your wall and you can get away without them. Either way, I'll try to explain this so you can do it no matter what your current wall or situation looks like. And a few quick tips. Modern 2x4s are actually 1.5 inches by 3.5 inches, so remember that when you're designing your plans. And when determining your length, remember that if you are building with these sidewalls, you need to account for the roughly 3.5 inches extra on either side in your plans. If you want a flush look without the bump out sides, you just build the front frame. My father-in-law did this and it saved a lot of floor space. His only width was the width of the 2x4 and the finished materials that he used. But I don't have that luxury. I'm covering up an old, dilapidated fireplace and mine has to bump out a little bit further. But in any event, the sidewalls are easy and you may not even need them, so let's build out the front of this fireplace first. To start, I'm going to be referring to two different frames. The first is your overall wall frame, and the second is the smaller frame that your electric fireplace insert is going to sit in. Your first step is determining the height and length of the front of your wall. Now your vertical studs should sit in between your horizontal ones. That's your top plate and bottom plate. So remember that when making your cuts. Your studs will be 3 inches shorter than your overall height. And conceptually, that's easy to understand. Since the width of each 2x4 that they're sitting in between is 1.5 inches, and there's two of them, this makes your studs 3 inches shorter than your overall height. Once you have those dimensions, we'll need to determine where the fireplace is going to sit within that frame. To do that, you'll need to know your cutout size from the fireplace insert that you're going to install. And these are often found online with the product, so even if you haven't ordered it yet or it hasn't arrived, you can still get started if you know what you want to buy. And you'll also need to consider the depth of your fireplace insert as well, as you don't want the back of it to butt up against something that's already behind your wall. For me, that's my fireplace, but for you, that might just be your wall or something else that you're covering up. So we'll talk more about that in a moment. But once you have found and know your cutout dimensions, you need to determine where to locate your fireplace frame within the overall frame. Now this is personal preference, but most electric fireplaces sit roughly 12 to 24 inches off the floor, and obviously I recommend putting it in the center. But placement depends on your desired viewing height of the fireplace and whether you're mounting a TV above it. If you're mounting a TV, you need to consider the heat output of your fireplace and ensure your TV is high enough away from it so that it doesn't get ruined. I recommend building your wall on the ground and then standing it up like you would a traditional wall. Start by building the outside of the frame first. I'm using 2.5 inch and 3 inch interior wood screws for this build, and they're available at your local hardware store. Next, you'll add stud supports on either side of where the fireplace frame will be. Secure it to the top and bottom, and now it's time to add the framing for the fireplace. You want to make sure the opening is slightly larger than the manufacturer's cutout specs, usually about 1/4 to 1/2 inch of clearance for fit and airflow. Add the appropriate size blocking underneath, and you can see we now have a frame sitting on top of blocks and secured to the side studs. How I determined the spacing for mine was pretty simple. I knew I wanted two pieces in the middle, and then I just made them evenly spaced all the way to the edge of the frame. Standard studs are spaced 16 inches on center, but since this isn't load-bearing, you've got flexibility. Just keep spacing consistent and tight enough to support your finished materials like cement board or drywall. Now my studs and vertical blocking are about 12 inches apart, and I have two between the center and the outside frame. Conceptually, this is also easy to understand. One would have been too far apart, and 3 would be overkill. So 2 it is. Now shout out to my father-in-law who gave me the idea to put this 2x12 in the middle to make hanging a TV mount on easier. This gives you the ability to put your studs and blocking anywhere without worrying if your studs are going to line up with the screws from your TV mount. So I actually doubled up a 2x12 right in the center, and I added my blocking around it. And I added a 2x4 on top to give the top blocking a flat surface to rest on. Next, I added horizontal supports on either side between the outside frame 2x4 and the first stud. 2x4s can be slightly bowed, so I added blocking to help straighten and lock everything into consistent spacing, and this just makes tiling way cleaner later on. Next comes the sidewalls. Again, just another rectangle frame that bumps out from the wall. Mine is about 18 inches deep, and when determining these sizes, I had to consider the depth of my electric fireplace with the already existing wood-burning fireplace that I was covering up. So you need to make sure that your fireplace insert has enough room to sit flush after both your cement board and finished material like tile or marble. If it's not deep enough, it will protrude out and it's just going to look funny. And you will be able to find these measurements within the electric fireplace insert that you're buying. Now these just get placed on the sides of the fireplace and attached to the front of the frame and the back wall. I used 3-inch screws and added plenty of them to ensure that the side walls were well secured to the front frame. I also added a little bit of blocking to these, and without any specific code on how many you need, I went with what seemed like it made sense and spaced them evenly. Nothing is load bearing, so it just becomes a bit of personal preference. And now that it's pieced together, you'll want to secure it. I use 5-inch Tapcon screws to go through my studs and into my block walls, and I think I put 5 on each side. I also secure the bottom of my frame to the floor with another 7 or 8 wood screws. Mine is sitting on wood, so that's what I used, but you may need more Tapcons or wedge anchors if you're securing it to a slab. I didn't secure it to the top of the ceiling, but with it strongly secured all the way around, and again, nothing being load-bearing, this should be just fine. You can likely put these side walls behind the front frame as well and secure it to that, but I think for overall stability, placing them on the sides of them is going to be a better move. And that's it. There's all sorts of variations for these, and frankly, there's not many wrong ways to do it. So I hope this inspires you to give it a shot and maybe create your own frame. And before going too far, I recommend checking your fireplace insert and making sure that it's going to fit, because once you cover it up, there is no going back. Also keep track of your studs and blocking for later so you can make changes or additions if needed. For instance, I plan on adding a fireplace mantle later, but maybe you want to add a mantle or secure a hearth to yours. Either way, you should have the option and flexibility. But I hope this helps. Reach out anytime with questions or concerns. Have a great day.